I'm calling you out, brother. I'm gonna snap you like a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
And if you can't get ratchet, and if you can't get ratchet, and if you can't get ratchet, hey, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today.
Oğlum bak git. Oğlum bak git.
Hadi bir daha. Hadi vursana. Ha? Hadi.
Lan oğlum git.
Hadi. Vur. Vursana.
Lan git.
Ha? Ne oldu? Yemiyor mu? Ha? Vuruyor mu sırtına? Niye vurdun? Ha?
Oğlum bak git. Bak git.
Ne olacak?
Oğlum bak git. Bak daha çiftleşirsin git. Tamam mı?
Ne olacak? Bir şey mi olacak?
Ya sabır.
Hadi. Aha!
What up, everybody in the YTBC? So, I just want to make this video about the art of the call out. Now, I like a good call out as much as the next guy. It makes things interesting. It gives us something to talk about. And ultimately, if it causes buzz, it's pretty good for the sport. However, I think there's a bit too much stock that's being placed into the call out. And let me explain why. So, and just so you know, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in recent days, most notably the last 7 days, there's been a lot of shit talking about Terrence Crawford because he simply didn't call anybody out in the post-fight interview. So, when it comes to the call out, it's like I said, it gives us something to talk about and it makes things interesting. However, all too many times we will see a fighter make a call out and not make the fight. And all too many times we hear talks of a fight and they'll even be negotiating it and then the negotiations fall through. So when it comes to the call out, I understand it makes it interesting, but if these fights aren't coming to fruition, the call out really doesn't mean shit. If anything, it will set the sport back because you're being enticed with these fights that are not being made. Perfect example is Lara. He called out Triple G on Twitter. But what good did that do if he didn't send over a contract? Another one, Adonis Stevenson, getting in the ring, yelling out, "I'm true champion!" Getting all up in Kovalev's face, but guess what? You ain't fighting him. You ain't sending a contract. All that hoopla doesn't do us any good if the fights don't happen. All too many times this happens. And when a fighter doesn't call out any names, that's when people want to talk shit. If anything, you should be talking shit about the ones who make call outs and don't make any effort to make the fights. Because those are the ones who are ultimately hurting the sport. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the perfect example of somebody making a call out with every intention of making the fight.
Me and Anthony Joshua, he ain't got no fucking experience. They putting him in the top 5, rating him all across the board with 12 fights. Get in the motherfucking ring with Prince Charles Martin with 12 fights. See what's gonna happen with your little ass.
Okay, you. All right, so that was Prince Charles Martin. Big shout out to him. I like Charles Martin a lot, and we're going to find out a lot about him when he fights Joshua. But if you notice in that interview that I just showed, he said, you know, Anthony Joshua, 12-0, get in the ring with me, I'll knock you out in the first round. That's an aggressive call out. And guess what? The fight got made. A contract is signed and we have a date. That's the way that a call out should happen. But we see call outs all the time that are a lot like back when you were in elementary school. A kid would talk shit to you, then tell you to meet him up by the swing set after school. And then he goes to the nurse's office and calls his mom saying he's sick and come pick him up. That's exactly what a lot of these fighters do. They'll call out another fighter, and then they're talking to their promoter, and then it's like, oh, well, you know, the politics, you know, the politics of boxing is what is preventing this fight, when all along they had no intentions of making the fight to begin with. That's exactly what a lot of these fighters are doing. But those are the ones who are getting praised. I see way too much praise for Laura calling out Triple G, and not enough shit talking because he's not sending a contract. And even though I don't agree with the fight itself, I do agree that in the way that the fight was announced was the Canelo Khan fight. Nobody saw that coming. It was just like, boom, this fight is made. Here's the date. I think that's the way that fight should. I honestly wouldn't have a problem if every fight was made that way. Don't tease me with something that is ultimately not going to happen. It's like I said, I don't mind if it does. It's icing on the cake. But ultimately, it's not needed, especially if the fight isn't going to get made. So that's my piece on it. I think way too many people were putting too much stock in the call out and not enough stock in the contract. So I am Team Crawford, as long as Crawford is making the right moves. He's very active, and you know, we'll see what his next move is. At least wait till that. Wait till the next move is made and then decide whether or not you're going to talk shit. That's just my take. Anyways, to all my subscribers, to everybody who watches my videos, and if you just so happen to stumble upon this video, I do wish you a wonderful and blessed day, and the best in all your endeavors. Peace.
If you can't get ratchet, and if you can't get ratchet, and if you can't get ratchet.